How's it going, everybody? It's me, Brian, and I am being joined here with my co-host James. We have Stephanie, John, and Joey from CAPI. That's right. We're gonna get our feet wet. We're gonna dive into the paranormal world. I know you people out there. We love our haunts. Don't get me wrong, but how many of y'all out there believe in the supernatural? And that's why I got these guys on. So how's it going, y'all?
Doing
Great.
good.
Thank you for having us.
So where exactly y'all based out of, and let the viewers know. So if they want to be in contact with a awesome paranormal team, they can do that.
We are out of Alabama. We're called Central Alabama Paranormal Investigations because our founder Johnny Rushing is actually in Central Alabama, a little area called Millbrook, Alabama, close to Montgomery. But we're really from all over. We've got I'm out of McCalla, which is near Bessemer. Um, Joey and Stephanie are out of the Alabaster area. We've got two of our team members that are out of off of Highway 280 in Chelsea, the Chelsea area. So I mean, we're just from all over.
Right. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, you're right in the neck of the woods in the Birmingham, Alabama area. So I know there's a lot of good scares in Alabama, right? They talk about Sloss furnaces to some good places down in Montgomery as well, and even Montevallo here in Alabama. So what's y'all's biggest case that y'all have been on here recently?
We typically don't really talk too much about our clients, simply because of anonymity for the clients. Now we have a lot of cases where we go out and we'll do things like live uh, broadcasts, like we did one from the Fitzgerald Mansion in Montgomery, where Zelda and F. Scott Fitzgerald lived for a while down in Montgomery, Alabama. We've done a law firm in Montgomery as well that they're open to us talking about them. We've got one client right now that it's kind of our top priority, but that's one of the ones that we've been to repeatedly to try and help the family, but we really don't talk about the individual clients too much.
Right, I understand that. James, do you believe in the paranormal? What's going on your side? Have you seen some doors opening and closing on their own, or what?
Brian, absolutely. I absolutely do. I've had a couple of instances where I've seen things that were kind of unexplained. And a friend of mine, he was kind of like into paranormal stuff, and we went and checked out this place. We were going to step inside. It was old, like ruins, like an old building. And we were going to step inside, and he was like, "Hey, man, I want to show you something cool." And he's like, cut your phone on record. And I had my flashlight on, so I stepped inside this building. It was basically just four outside walls, no roof or anything like that. But the instant that I stepped inside of this building, boom, man. I mean, I lost cell phone drain. I lost power to my flashlight. So I have definitely seen some things that were unexplainable to me that kind of makes me a believer that, yeah, there's definitely something out there, no doubt.
Stephanie, so when y'all go into these investigations and whatnot, can you explain to us what exactly do y'all use, or and if you can, what can you benefit off of these these equipment, these gadgets, I would say? You there, Steph? Hey, Joey.
Yeah.
All right. Can you so when y'all go into these investigations and everything, what exactly do y'all use, and how do you know without seeing it like face to face, should you say, that you know that there is something actually there?
Well, first off, we have we have the full spectrum of equipment, digital camera, night vision, because a lot of the stuff you don't want lights on because that can, as far as a light contrasting with a camera, I mean, you can see something and it's just pixelation. So you really want it dark. K2, a lot of the times there'll be a jump in electromagnetic field where K2 can easily tell you, hey, there are some definite magnetic changes going on right now. Um, Help me out, John. What else? Now that I've been asked,
Well, yeah, you're good. No, we'd use like a thermometer with a point a laser point thermometer to track things like cold spots and that kind of thing. We use motion sensors that we've got set up. We put it throughout the location. We use, like you said, K2. Voice recorders are really, really important. We tend to shy away from a lot of the things that have been made for the paranormal, for the simple fact that a lot of it is they're all gimmicks, just designed to make money for the manufacturers. We've got a laser grid. We've got things like that. We've got a really nice camera system right now, CCTV type camera system that has been working really, really great.
Awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun going in here with these this equipment that y'all have and trying to figure out what is there and what is not, James. I think heck, man, they got their hands on full when they go into a haunted place. What do you think?
Absolutely, Brian. Absolutely. And I got a question for you, John. You was talking a little bit about the equipment that you use.
Yep.
And a lot of people out here wondering. I'm sure they've watched all the paranormal investigation shows. I know that I'm definitely guilty of that. And I heard you say that some of the equipment is a fraud, some of the equipment is legit. Is there any tried and true methods as a paranormal investigator that you know is going to produce 100%? I know these are accurate results that you go to.
Oh, wow. I mean, you can't go really wrong with things like a good voice recorder. A lot of phones right now, they have apps on them that are supposed to be voice recording apps. Don't trust them. A lot of those will actually have things pre-recorded or added in later. But yeah, a good voice recorder is always good. Any kind, a good Steadicam camcorder, anything with a night shot or anything like that is good. A good camera. The best evidence you can actually get, believe it or not, are off of a Polaroid camera.
Right.
Those cinematic cameras, because you know for a fact that can be doctored.
Okay. Like I said, we've me and Brian, we've been in the haunt industry for a long time, and me personally, from personal experience, man, I have seen some strange things. I've done some videos at some abandoned places. Just I know for a fact that there are definitely spiritual things unexplained, and a lot of people might say, well, hey, we've seen the shows, that's just for TV. So for those out here that are following you tonight on the show and they say, hey guys, paranormal investigating, that's something that Hollywood made up. What would you tell these people if they've never experienced this? I mean, how would you convince them, hey guys, give this a second look, it's legit?
Go for it, Joey.
Well, I mean, the first thing I would have to say is there's a certain aspect of actual investigation that you're not going to see on TV.
Yes, sir.
I was going to say poring over footage, evidence, recordings. All the shows you see on TV, like you said, I mean, they are made for entertainment. And they are very entertaining, but they only cover a small facet of what's actually done. One thing I always love is they're getting to the point on these shows where they're filming the tech crew, but you never see the setup. I mean, that's one of the biggest things is when you go into a place, setting up your equipment. I'm going to say, in my experience, almost everywhere you go, when you're setting up, something goes wrong, and you have to be able to fix it right there on the fly. And these are things that are just, they're not on. You know, a lot of it, you see these, you know, people walking around insulting and challenging these entities, and that's not how it really is. If you're doing it that way, you're probably not getting a whole lot of results. What do you think, John?
I mean, the long and short of it is that we can't make an entity react. We can't. They're not trained monkeys, as we've said before. You are kind of at their whim, as it were, when you're doing an investigation to get evidence. Now, when you get it, there's nothing like it. You had that aha moment, especially your first investigation. But as for people that go and say, oh, well, that's all fake, well, a lot of it is entertainment. But there's no substitution for going on an investigation and you experience that first touch. There's no one there, and yet something touched my shoulder. Getting an orb, a true orb on your camera. I mean, it's incredible.
Hey, wanted to share something with you guys real fast. In the comment section, we got Dr. Z Smith. He said he lived in a cemetery as a caretaker. Did you actually live in a cemetery? Would y'all be interested in spending a night one night in a cemetery just to catch some paranormal activity?
Always. We're always looking for a way to experience and to document the real paranormal. Now, as for cemeteries, we always, you know, my thought is this: when you are free of your meat suit, when you're free of this flesh, and you're no longer limited by things like time, space, and matter.
Right.
You know, why would you want to stick around a cemetery where the shell of your existence was? But I mean, I'm more than willing to go and investigate anywhere.
Right. So you know the Memorial Mounds. Apparently, there's a lot of videos on YouTube and Monster Misfits in the comment section, which is Vic Springston. He has been down there. Have y'all investigated that place or anything since you said you're around the Bessemer area, John?
I've been there many times. I haven't done any actual paranormal investigation out of reverence for the people that are there, the entities that are there, and the people that are living that take care of them. A lot of places like that, you have to go through jump through a lot of hoops in order to get permission to investigate. And that's one thing that CAPI does is we never trespass on the location. The simple fact of it messes with your it makes you my brain just went blank. The words just left my brain. Sorry. Your integrity. If you're going in, you're willing to break the law to investigate, then what are you willing to do as far as your evidence is concerned? But I mean, if anyone has any kind of connections in any of these places, we're more than willing to go and investigate. And we have a standing thing with CAPI that if you get an investigation, you're automatically invited to go with us.
Hey Stephanie, are you there?
I am.
Okay, I thought we lost you a while ago. You've been a little quiet on us, so I'm gonna see. Can you tell us about the hauntings? How many hauntings is there? And you know, you got a historical and residual and all this stuff. If somebody wanted to, I don't know, investigate their own without calling y'all or whoever, how would they know what kind of haunting they're experiencing in their house?
That's honestly a really good question, which is why, I mean, I'll put it out there. Joey and I, we went through the classes and all for CAPI, because we actually reached out for their help ourselves. And that's actually how we met them.
Okay, good.
Okay, well that's pretty cool. So you had your own experience before you entered CAPI.
Yes, we did.
Okay. Well, was it what kind of haunting did you discover that was in your house?
It was, we were renting the house, and, you know, I don't know if we ever really fully got a conclusion. Um, I think that we got, and correct me if I'm wrong, John. We did get some orbs here. There was some cool evidence, but we haven't had any problems since.
Right. Okay.
Have y'all
Now,
been to Sloss Furnaces in Birmingham?
CAPI investigates loss back in the early 90s before I actually became part of CAPI. They were actually there with multiple teams. Really, CAPI was the only of the 12 teams was the only team that did not get any evidence that could be contributed that could not be contributed as just a common phenomenon. We've investigated it several times since, but every time, I mean, everything seems to be, fairly mundane as opposed to paranormal. We actually currently have Sloss as not a haunted location currently. Now, with everything that's gone on, there's not to say that there's not art entities there, but it's just we've never experienced any that we've been able to record and not debunk as being mundane phenomenon.
Right. Well, James, I know you're eager. You have a lot of questions to ask them. You were telling me off camera. So let it rip, brother. What you got?
yeah. My question. I'm gonna shoot you with this one, Joey. In your opinion, what is probably the most creepy place in Alabama that you've ever investigated? I mean, you as a paranormal investigator, I know you're probably, used to seeing things, but I'm sure the people out there are going to know. What's that one thing that stands out to you that just you was like, man, damn, I don't want to come back to this place?
Well, I'm
I
going to
think
be
he's
honest
lost
with
for
you.
words.
I have seen some scary things, but I've never said I will never go back somewhere. I think that's just the investigator in me. Um,
Right?
I have seen some things that, quite frankly, I never want to see again. But if it means that I get more evidence and get closer to identifying what goes on after we leave this plane, I have no qualms about going back somewhere.
Okay.
Um, like I said, I've seen some scary things, but either I haven't seen something that scary, or the investigator in me will not let it go. Um,
Right. Right.
does that answer? I'm sorry, I'm having technical issues. I'm breaking up here, but
Yeah, I understand.
does that answer your question?
Well, I mean, yeah, it does. Yes and no. Basically, for the common folk out there that's watching this, I'm sure they're wondering, basically as humans, we see something that scares us, we want to run away from it. The question I was really asking, have you ever seen something that just creeped you out, kind of so bad that you were really, really uncomfortable being there? And if you can elaborate or share, what experience it was or what investigating you was on, I'm sure the people out here listening would love to hear that.
Um, yeah. Honestly, the first thing that came to mind is it was a place in Chilton County, and I was not on an investigation.
Right.
I happened to live a stone's throw from this place, and this whole area. I don't know how well I can explain it. I mean, there was just a bad vibe, a bad energy all the time, and some of the things that I saw there, I mean, definitely creeped me out. Some of the things that I would hear, um, but like I said, it was not on an investigation. Honestly, it probably had a lot to do with why I am an investigator now.
Right.
Um, but yeah, and it was an entity that it's not what you see on TV. It wasn't some full silhouette, white, flowy dress and hair in the wind. It was nothing like that. It was a full out black pitch. Um, it was very intelligent, um, and I saw it a lot. And
Right.
I mean, you can't see it, but I mean, I've got just recalling it right now. But no, I was not on investigation. It was something I lived with for a pretty long time, and it was in Chilton County. A lot of these places, you bring up like Sloss Furnace and places in Montevallo and Montgomery that are famous for these things. In my personal experience, the scariest places I've ever seen, no one knows about. There are
Wow.
legends, there are stories. Um, Places you you can come across some terrifying things.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. Same question, a little bit different though. Shooting out to you, Stephanie. I know, I know you see all kind of, like I said, I know you guys see all manner of entities and things like that. What what is the biggest difference between like a spiritual energy that you might see, or say like if it's something else like a demonic energy? And can you tell the difference?
I would say just by feeling the energy that you'd be able to know the difference. Um, they say that you have things all around you all the time that, if they're good, and I mean, I know for me, they don't bother me. But I would assume that something that was demonic would have a heavier, just stuffy, not good feeling.
Right. Right. Okay.
I don't think it would be very hard to differentiate between the two.
Okay. Okay. I know a lot of people, they feel like, I have chill bumps. I feel like something's watching me. I walk into a room and all of a sudden there's a cold spot that I walk in this room. I've heard so many people say that. And, I know in their mind they're thinking, well, is this a good spirit, something that's not really trying to hurt me? Or is this something with some power that can actually hurt me?
John,
Those are questions that I've been asked.
John may be better off on answering that question.
Um, you always want to take a entity for what it does versus the way you feel about it. A darker entity or even a demonic, it can't help but do what it is. It can't help but you know scare or cause harm. Now you might be scared, and it might be a completely mundane or a completely harmless poltergeist that you're hearing or seeing. Um,
Right.
might be a residual haunting that you're seeing that scares you, but it's all in what it does. And the thing is, even a demonic that might pose as something, a child or something like that, it is what it is, and it's not going to take long for it to show you what it is.
Right.
It's going to try to get you to do things that are against your nature, um,
Right.
and that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, as far as being able to tell the difference between just by feel or something like that, I've experienced, like she was talking about, the heaviness when there's a darker entity there. I've experienced a sadness and joy. Just the emotion just kind of overwhelms you when you're around. When I was around certain entities, It just all depends on the entity itself. Some of them you don't even know that they're there until you hear them knock on a wall, or say their name over a voice recorder after you've recorded it, the next day when you're listening to your evidence. But
Right.
but most of the time, a darker entity is going to make itself known fairly quickly.
Right. Right. Brian, I see we got some questions for some guests. If you want to take it from there and ask these guys a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm just rolling through the comment section here. We got Monster Misfits, Dr. Z Smith. And it looks like this was the good question. To y'all, have y'all seen a dead girl or anybody cooking in their grandmother's kitchen? Because apparently Vic Springsteen has. I mean, that would be pretty creepy, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, with an entity like that, with that kind of description, you have to start wondering what kind of entity it is. You've got a few basic ones, which are just your, like I said, residual, which really isn't really a spirit per se. It's just something that's happened over and over again, and it's kind of etched in time. The energy becomes right and it replays. It's almost like a recording. Now, if that entity were to interact with, say, the person coming into the kitchen and it turns and looks at you, that would be an intelligent type haunting. Those are what a lot of that's kind of our what we want to find when we're doing an investigation, something that will actually interact with us, that understands that we're there. So I mean, but yeah, just by the original description, just a little girl cooking. I mean, that could be a residual or it could be an intelligent. Just all depends on what's going on there. But I haven't experienced that myself. I've seen a residual haunting at a law firm in Montgomery that was standing at a window looking out, and yeah, that one was quite interesting. But I haven't seen any cooking little girls in the kitchen now, unfortunately. That'd be pretty cool to see that.
Can a little boy or a little girl be possessed or get possessed? And if so, could they probably have a episode like Emily Rose?
You're getting a lot into the religious side of things. The Emily Elise, the girl that the Exorcism of Emily Rose was based off of. I think that's the correct name. I know it was Elise. Her situation was a lot of people think was more of a medical than a true demonic. I wasn't there. I can't verify one way or the other. Some of the voice recordings are very, very compelling, though, to lean toward demonic. She was actually a lot older than what the movie really portrayed. She was actually I had been going to university, left, and went back for a while during the stages of what they consider a demonic possession. Now, can a child be possessed by a demon? According to the Catholic Church, no. They are a child that is under the age of consent, not consent. There's a term for it. That's escaped me. Usually under the age of
accountability.
Age of accountability. Thank you. That's the term I was looking for. No. Now, as far as after that, I've not seen it yet. Thank the Lord. But I mean, I guess it's certainly possible.
Okay.
Well, guys, we appreciate y'all coming on the show. Do y'all have any final, James, do you have any final question for the guys? I know they're very busy and stuff, and they took a good chunk out of their time to be a part of the show, and very honored and privileged to have them on. Yeah, James, so you have any final questions or what?
And yeah, guys, we really appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us. We know you guys are busy, and people are very interested in the paranormal world out there. So our hats off to what you guys do. Much respect for everyone. And yeah, I mean, if you had only one thing you could tell these viewers out here tonight about the paranormal world, what would it be? You only got one thing you can say. What would it be?
Joe, you want to start?
Don't, I will. Don't ever be afraid.
Don't so quick off his imagination. Um, it's real. Most of us, whether we admit it or not, we believe in it. Just a lot of people won't admit it. We just happen to be a group that will.
Don't be afraid of it. If you're experiencing any kind of paranormal activity, there are other people that are experiencing it too. You're not alone. You're not crazy.
That's exactly what I was going to say, is don't be afraid to reach out for help.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So, are you guys easy to get in touch with if someone has a spirit that's that's bothering them, or something in their home that's bothering them? They bought that new boathouse, or they bought that new resort house, or whatever. How's the best way for someone to get in touch with you if they want you guys to check out something?
It's very easy. Our Facebook page is Central Alabama Paranormal. And you can message us straight off of our Facebook page, or you can post on there asking a question. And that's really the easiest way. And then our case manager, Beth, she'll reach out to you to get things set up and find out what's going on.
Yeah,
Okay.
guys, and for those who are listening, I'm going to put the website in the description for you, so that way, yeah, you don't always have to roll back to get the website or whatever it may be. But guys, we appreciate y'all coming on. It's been an honor again, and y'all have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you
You
very
too.
much.
All right, y'all keep it happy hauntings and keep your scare on.
Thanks.
All right.
You too.